Good afternoon from Europe, good morning, good evening guys, wherever you are. 2nd of December 2020, Wednesday. Piotr is Liteforex Global YouTube channel. US cash market is open for about 15 minutes. What a mess, to be honest with you. Yesterday we've seen the huge spike when it comes to the pound. It was the Brexit related, positive Brexit related news. Today, very early morning, we've seen the spike to the downside on the pound related to the negative Brexit news, and the pound cannot recover by now. So overall, when it comes to the cable, well, finally the range, the easy trade, right, been broken yesterday. Because we were discussing sell the high, right, buy the low, right? So finally, after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and the 6th time the stop's been hit from the intraday perspective, but there is a problem around 34.40, huge monster rejection, and suddenly we are testing the bottom of the range, right? Now, buying the dip looks like it's working right now, but I'm not a buyer. I'm not a buyer anymore. For now, I'm looking how we are going to behave based on the mid of that range. Why? Because earlier today, market was trying to beat the pound at the half of the range after the breakout, right? Half of the range, and there was lack of the beats and move to the downside. So this time, all right, if you are trading intraday, then you are good here, right? Be careful and monitor your position, but I'm going to watch half of that range. It's not that clear from the cable perspective. The US yields are in favor of the dollar long, and the break of this 133, opening 132, 131.80 over the course of the week, especially that is the Wednesday. So yesterday we've seen the spike, today Tuesday, yesterday we've seen the spike, today Wednesday midweek reversal. It could be in favor of the dollar, but that's only on the cable side. Why? Because euro dollar is doing completely different thing. From the intraday perspective, if you are monitoring what I'm doing, you were probably been thinking, okay, how it's going to end up. I've been very aggressive around 2050 from the intraday perspective. I've been finally able to get out without any huge damage. Medium term, I'm going to watch today's close. If you are going to get the daily close above 120.50, my medium term shorts on euro dollar might be in trouble. That's how I see the things. And then if we are going to get the weekly close above 120.50, that's another thing I have to think about when it comes to the medium term perspective. I'm quite curious what is going on, because the yields really support the dollar, but here when it comes to the euro dollar and the pound dollar, here could be the case with what is going on euro pound, right? Because the euro pound might be the driver right now for euro, and well, we were discussing yesterday, so congratulations for everyone who took the long, as we are approaching fast towards the first level, towards 91.40. Today's price action looks really nice. When we are talking about the cable GBPUSD, and when we are talking about the euro GBP, of course the main risk event is a Brexit case. Looks like that's what we got from the EU side, that they can still negotiating after the 31st of December, but that's not what the UK side want to have. So, well, looks like we might be nowhere, and again, the price, there is a no deal Brexit, is almost nowhere, is well underpriced. So think about that. I'm going to watch the pound development on the pound very carefully, especially euro pound, pound dollar, and the pound yen, and I'm going to get back into that with today's daily close, and then again after the weekly close. That's how I see the things going on. So that's the majors, right? Euro dollar, cable, and then euro pound. Well, what else very interesting? I'm watching very carefully commodity currencies with these higher yields and the stalling when it comes to the indices. From the daily chart perspective, the bears on the USD CAD trying, right, you know, okay, let's push it a little bit lower. Let's push it a little bit lower with a little bit of the reversal going on right now. So we are awaiting EEA official data. It might be the kicker for the lower oil. We are going to discuss oil in a second. So what I'm currently doing, medium and intraday perspective, I'm long USD CAD, and if you missed anything, these lower shadows, this latest weakness right here, right now, that could be the opportunity, especially that the stop is very, very tight. Of course, we are sitting below 130, and that's the negative. But again, it's Wednesday, it's midweek, so the possibility of the reversal are quite high. Watch out the EEA official data as well as the US yields and the US stocks behavior. So that's the Canadian I'm looking to buy. If you are a seller, if you like USD CAD lower, so then in my opinion you should wait for a retest of 130.20, right? So this is 129.90, 130, and then the stop count of this highs. So looking for liquidity, that could be your short setup if you are USD CAD bear. Next one is Australian dollar, and here we are even with the better than expected Australian GDP. The Australian dollar simply cannot go higher. We have a problem around the weekly open. So already here post RBA we have some kind of the reversal when it comes to the Australian dollar. If you do remember, that was the Monday price action. The whole day we were falling, then there was a spike when it comes to RBA, dollar overall weakness, and the Australian dollar GDP, and here we have a problem. I'm sitting short intraday and sitting short medium term when it comes to Australian dollar. That's how I see the things when it comes to the FX market. Well, the next one, of course, indices. That's the first 5-minute trading range over here, right? Well, probably we are going to double that range to the downside, so this low might be taken out. So how does it look like from the higher time frame perspective? Of course, if you do remember, we were discussing these things quite a few times. More stops been taken yesterday, right? There could be this type of the price action, right? Almost. So another attempt to go higher and much lower. So any kind of the spike higher, I'm looking for fading this price action. On the other hand, if you are still stock bullish because of the more liquidity, because of the Powell speech, because of the Yellen as a new Treasury Secretary, well, that's your buying opportunity, right? So today's pullback to the weekly open, the zone over here towards 12,250 on the Nasdaq, that's your buying zone, and you are trying to approach this level very aggressive, right? I do expect this type of the price action. When it comes to Nasdaq, it could happen, well, the very beginning of 2021. But, well, we discussed both sides, bullish and bearish. With that being said, guys, don't forget that this week is a very important from the non-farm payroll perspective, right? Yesterday, ISM, the employment sub index, weak. Today's ADP, very weak. Market was expecting 433,000. We got 300,000, very weak. But one can argue it's related to the US and we might see weaker dollar, but I would say that telling us something different, that overall worldwide we are slowing down. Okay, so be very, very careful. And yeah, that's why I'm watching very carefully the commodity currencies. We've seen huge rally lately. Maybe it's time for some profit taking and for us to take the advantage on the short side. With that being said, guys, don't be trapped, be careful, and see you around. Take care. Goodbye.